Nigerians suffering from self-inflicted pains, says Prophet Adewale. Amid the prevailing hardship in Nigeria, the shepherd in charge of Celestial Church of Christ, Akpete Ibadan, Oyo State, Venerable Superior Evangelist Emmanuel Adewale speaks with Imole Ayo Oyedeyi on how Nigerians can rescue themselves from the widespread poverty and inflation putting them on boiling points. Like Aisha Yusufu said, that next time Nigerians should use a super eagles or whatever a sense. And this AFCON that is ongoing, you see everybody coming out, saying, being patriotic. That is how next election you have to be patriotic because of what you really want for yourself. In the last few days, the Nigerian government has come under heavy criticism due to the prevailing hardship in the country. The sitting mass discontent has even sparked protests in the northern parts of the country. People are saying things are hard. One observer even said it is only those stealing public funds that won't be lamenting now. What is your take on this? You said everybody is crying, that things are hard. But don't you think things are hard? I believe those stealing are equally crying because they need to do more research now in a bid to catch their prey. To be honest with you, things are very, very hard in the country, though money may be available in nominal currency. The real value of what the money can purchase has grossly pummeled seriously. These days, you go to the market with a large sum of money to stock your home, only to come back with just a very small foodstuff if it is that bad. For instance, a bag of gari in those days was perhaps not up to 1,000 naira, but a Congo of gari, same gari now is about 700 naira. In my house, in those days, about 23 of us would sufficiently and conveniently eat 3 square meals, but such is very hard now in many homes. Some families cannot even boast of having 2 square meals daily, let alone 3. The worrisome hardship has overnight reduced many people into professional beggars. Yeah, that's it. The harsh economic climate has taken a drastic toll on people's purchasing power, such that even if a graduate is being paid the sum of 100,000 naira monthly now, it cannot even take him anywhere. Will he not eat, change his wardrobe, and transport himself to work? That is aside his need to send something home to his or her parents, which may even be occasional. I could remember that the first rent I paid back then in 1984 was 20 naira per room in the Agbowa area of Ibadan. That was after I had left the postgraduate school of the University of Ibadan. But can the same 20 naira buy biscuits today? A single room self-con goes for between 150,000 and 250,000 naira nowadays in the country, depending on your area and state. So things are very hard now because too much money is pursuing few goods, which is inflation. Not just that alone, the country also groans heavily under a high degree of insecurity with calculated killings, kidnapping, and bandit attacks forcing the people to live in fear. That is in addition to the high cost of petrol. For instance, if you want to travel to Lagos now, the least amount you will spend on petrol is about 20,000 naira. Some of us even spend as much as 30,000 naira per trip. In December last year, I traveled to Lagos 4 times, spending almost 120 naira on petrol alone across the 4 trips. So you can see our present predicament. Money is not available yet. Things are very expensive. Even those moving in and out of the country, especially overseas, are crying due to the damaging fall of the naira. As we speak, the exchange rate hovers around 1,500 naira per dollar. The implication is that if you must import good foodstuffs, clothes, and gadgets from abroad, you have to spend through your nose. How do you cope with that? In recent times, some Nigerians youth have succumbed to the Japa syndrome. They will sell their father's properties, land, cars, and all to run abroad. When it began, you could travel with between 2 million and 4 million. But now, if you are not having between 15 million and 20 million naira, you go nowhere. Unfortunately, some people will sell their property and be swindled by smear individuals who desperately cash in on the prevailing dejection in the country. As a result, these people will be consigned to the middle. They can't even get into the foreign land, yet they have nothing to fall back on at home. That is why you hear people committing all manner of things, taking them, deleting themselves, because some people cannot just think straight again. Imagine you will struggle to go to school and graduate with a good grade and certificates, but because of the lopsided nature and structure of Nigeria, you will be left to wail and toil at the mercy of those at the corridors of power in the country through white collar job. You are not dependent on your hands. In the Western world, it is your hand and your brain that will liberate you. But here, it is who you know and not your certificates of value you want to put into the economy that will determine what you get. Many people will come to you after the devotional service to complain to you as we speak. I have a lot of questions on my phone or requests on my phone. Surprisingly, yesterday, somebody wrote to me from a very far state in the country. This was someone who used to give me money years back, but he recently lost his job. So he wrote to me asking me, do you have anything for your boy? This is a married man who had spent so many years in the banking industry but suddenly lost his job and is now being made to contend with unbearable hardship. It was a few months ago that he lost the job, but he has started begging now. He has started begging now because of because even the savings he had gathered over the years could no longer save his family from wanting hunger and pay his children's tuition. So things are bad. Yes, so yes, things are really, really bad. So which one are the self-inflicted thing here? Jerusalem or the land of Israel, Mali, we have rainfall 3 times a year, but all over the land there are productions of anything food. If you travel for about 3 or 4 hours to the road, on the road in the country, you will see plantain farms on your right and maize plantations on acres of land you left. Yet there is no water in the country. They all depend on irrigation, yet they produce big apples. You can ask those who go there. The farmer will feed as many different individuals in the country and even export. They have their chickens and fish. They have everything in large quantities, but in Nigeria we only produce twice yearly, and even when the farmer struggle to produce, one rat called a bandit will come, carry a gun and kill him, and that ends the business. So a lot of things are wrong with us. Insecurity has killed our aboriginal intention for agriculture and farming. That is why nobody wants to farm again. Operation Feed the Nation was forgotten. To get back on our feet, we must all change our attitude. We must all be reorientated. Reorientated. Well, you also didn't care whether your neighbors were stealing from your store through the back door and taking the food to their own house, or because you had supplies in large quantities. But before you know it, if care is not taken, the reserve will become empty with time and you will be left with nothing. That is the Nigeria story. We are now left with no reserve. We have eaten and looted the whole Commonwealth. There is also no production and discipline. Above all, there has been no concrete measures to curtail those abusing the country's heritage and resources. The fault is in ourselves. So that is why this man is saying that Nigerians suffering from self-inflicted pains. The bandits that are not allowing the farmers to go to farm, who who are the people who are supposed to curtail this? The same politicians, but are they doing that? No, they are not doing that. Yes, vote buying keep Nigerians. All this a Emilokan, because people will say, oh, I'm voting based on this. Now, but I don't think with what is going on in Nigeria, people have really learned their lessons. They have not. They have not. Some people are still boasting that in the next election, they will want to vote for the same people they voted for. Well, that is what everybody is facing. Whatever anybody sees, you carry. Whatever that faces you, you take it. That's it. So guys, let's know what you think about what this prophet has said.